Congratulations, you have a WAU bike. My name is Anthony and I'm the mechanic at WAU. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to assemble your bicycle. So first of all, you'll find various parts of the bicycle and you just want to remove the bike from the side very gently, like so. Let's see what's in the WAU box. Okay, in your box you will find an instruction manual on how to put your bike together, your pedals, keys and more keys, rubber ducky, tools, charger and a foot pump. So everything's in here to get your bike up and running. Next we're going to attach the front wheel. And we have to be mindful that we locate the disc rotor in between the pads on your disc brake. So lift up the fork and roll the wheel into place, just making sure the washers sit on the outside of the fork, and then again just check that the disc has actually located in the middle of the pads. At this point you can put the stand down just for some extra support. And we're going to take the 15mm and we're going to tighten up those nuts as tight as you can get them. Next, and very importantly, we're going to tighten up the handlebars. For this, you're going to need your 4mm Allen key. And if we take the wheel in between your legs, look down the length of the bike, making sure everything's straight and in line, line up the handlebars, and you have 2 bolts just here, and do them a little bit at a time each. And you're just going to nip them up and then just give them a little bit extra. To test that you've tightened them up enough, put your both hands on the end of the handlebar and try and twist the handlebars to move. If they don't move, you've done them up tight enough. If they do move, just nip them up a little bit more. Next, we're going to put the pedals on. Okay, and for this, you're going to need your 15mm spanner again. And on the pedals, you'll see that you've got a left-hand pedal and a right-hand pedal. Now this is for good reason, because the left-hand pedal has a reverse thread on it. Okay, so you have to be very careful when you're installing this pedal. So first of all, I'm going to put the right pedal on first. We're installing the right pedal, which has a normal thread, okay, which goes in clockwise. An easy way to remember when you're installing the pedals is that they both tighten to the front of the bike. And like the front wheel, give it a proper tighten. And again, so it's a left-hand thread, so we're going to tighten up anti-clockwise. And again, start off by putting the pedals in with your fingers. And remember, they tighten towards the front of the bike. And then give it the beans again, give it the beans. Yeah. Next, we're going to align the brake caliper on the disc. So first of all, we're going to take the 5mm Allen key and we're just going to loosen off the 2 bolts that are holding it in place. And then just give it a little wiggle. Okay, make sure that's loose. We're going to pull the front brake lever and this will align the caliper. Then we take our 5mm again and we're going to nip up 2 bolts. And make sure these are nice and tight. And finally, just check that the disc runs freely when you give it a spin. It's very important to keep your tyres pumped up and at the correct pressure. So we've given you a pump. To pump up your tyre, remove the dust cap. You've got 2 holes on there. It's the big one for these Schrader valves. Squeeze that on, push the lever down, get your foot and start to pump. We want to be pumping the tyres up to 60 psi. Depending on which display and which controls you go for, this will all be explained within your manual. So give this a real good read. Next, let's get the WAU bike comfortable for you. So we can put the seat up to your right height, rule of thumb, just above the hip there. We can adjust the handlebars up or down, depending on how you'd like to ride. To adjust the stem, you take the 5mm, undo this bolt here, and the stem will move up and down. Just make sure that you tighten it back up. So let's power up. Okay. Depending on which screen you go for, you'll find an on button. This particular model has it there. As you can see, we now have power. The back lights are on, the indicators are working, the brake lights are also working, and if you have a throttle, now you can test that as well. To put the front light on, just hold down the plus button. Dreamy. Your WAU bike comes with an alarm system. You can deactivate it with the fob, like so, or you can reactivate it with the top one. So now, the WAU bike is alarmed. One final thing to do before we go for our test ride is just do some final checks. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we're just going to put our stand up, stand next to your bike and put the brakes on. Okay, and just before you even get on the bike, just check and make sure they work. Now let's go for a little test ride.